Hey you guys, today I'm going to be talking about a few schooling from home tips for the work at home parent. Hopefully it'll be helpful to you. Stick around.
My life is my canvas. Watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me create.
Because I'm old.
Kweeni Indi.
Alright guys, so let's get into this quick video. I just was thinking about how right now a lot of people are getting back to school, but under the circumstances of the current pandemic. And although we fought it through last year to get things done that we need to get done with the school year, some people are starting off fresh with not a lot of experience in schooling at home. And you have some parents like myself. I'm a single parent of 5 children and I also work from home. So we happen to have been doing school from home for about the last 5 years. Actually, this is going into our 6th school year schooling from home. But a lot of people have been forced into this situation of schooling from home because of today's times, as well as working from home. And because of that, I just thought maybe I'd give some tips that could help, are just starting out and could use some. So here it goes. So just a little background, like I mentioned before, this is going on our 6th year schooling from home.
Yes, Abby.
So back in 2015, when I was transitioning out of the military, I knew right away that I wanted to homeschool my children. I first heard about a homeschooling program called Abeka Academy. It seemed to be a really good program, and a lot of homeschoolers had lots of great things to say about it. And I figured, why not try with that? It was a lot of good reviews from other parents, and I found out that even a lot of the private schools around my area were using the curriculum for Abeka Academy. So I knew it was a really good program. So that's what we started with. I'm not going to go into too many details because I understand the purpose of this video, but just a long story short, we started off with Abeka and we did the traditional program where I had my own school and I used their materials. I opened up my own homeschool and everything with my state, my county. We did that for 1 or 2 years, and then I transitioned to the program where you do everything online. You still maintain your own school, but as far as your report card, as far as your progress reports, and even as far as grading the work, even when it comes to grading the work, the school took care of everything. I just had to package everything up together based off of that particular semester, send it off to the school, they graded it, they recorded it, and they were students of Abeka Academy. Recently, going on our 3rd year, we have been doing school from home through a public school, and that's through K-12 public school, but it's online. So as far as the funding, even when it comes to computers, when it comes to printers, when it comes to all of the lessons to be conducted, all of the testing and everything, it is completely handled by the school and is coordinated by the school. So when there's in-person testing required, we go to a specific location. A lot of the other tests and quizzes and exams that my children, all of their examinations, the school handles it, they take care of it, they grade it, and I'm basically more of a learning coach now which is similar to like a teacher's assistant. Basically, they have their main teacher that comes online. They conduct face-to-face classes with them online, along with other students that are in the class. They have their assignments already populated online according to the schedule for that day, and they complete everything online, outside of homework, of course, outside of certain projects and field trips and in-person testing, like I mentioned before. A bit of our background. So I have learned a few things along the way that helps our day-to-day, involving school, involving me trying to get some work in. Oh, here are my tips for you guys. Most of my tips are gonna involve sticking to a schedule. Just saying that offhand. My first tip is to get up early. Getting up early allows you more time during the day to not only knock out all of your schoolwork, but it also gives you more time to fit in the amount of time that it takes for you to complete your work as a working parent from home as well. Now, I understand that depending on the age of the student and as far as how independent that they're allowed to be with their schoolwork, and depending on your work schedule, there are different factors that will come into play as far as when you are able to conduct your work and how, as well as how often or how much assistance your child requires when it comes to their schoolwork. For me, all of my children are 10 years and younger. I have a set of twins that are 10. They're about to be 11, in fact. Then I have an 8-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So I have 4 that are in school during the day that I have to be their learning coach for. So that requires me sometimes to be there to assist them with quizzes and tests, sometimes helping them with projects. They do have a lot of lessons that are independent lessons that they're able to do and knock out during the day. And I use the time that they're doing their independent lessons and other breaks throughout the day to get a lot of my work done, honestly. Really, that's why it's important to stick to a schedule and just be consistent with it, because when you establish that rhythm, everything else seems to fall in line. And even when things don't fall in line, when you have a structure to fall back on, when things start to go a little left, it's easier to pull it back in to what your normal is. Another benefit that I found as far as getting up early for your day is that when you tend to sleep in and just not have any sort of haste when it comes to accomplishing the things that you need to accomplish for the day, a lot of times, I don't know about you guys, but I know for sure for me and my family, that sluggishness, somewhat laziness tends to just, that whole vibe and energy just tends to linger throughout the whole rest of the day. So you end up approaching your schoolwork that way, your parent work that way, your meals just be, It comes to being focused to knock out tests, things that require for you to be alert and be paying attention. You know, it just screws everything up. It's something about in having that fresh sunlight, that fresh atmosphere that you hear on the outside, and even going outside and just taking in that newness of the day. It just really starts the day off right. It sets the tone. And I really encourage that you think about starting an early day and getting things done for the day, and so that you have more time to do it. Okay, moving on to our next tip. Go to bed on time. Right, so it seems like the simplest thing, but this just aids again to our overall idea of sticking to a schedule and staying consistent. You guys, I have noticed that you can get up as early as you want to, but if you're not going to bed at a decent hour, and only you can determine what that hour is for your household. I know generally speaking, it's good for about 7 to 8 hours, and of course more if possible of sleep. So whatever that means for you, going to bed at a consistent time every night aids in you being able to get up in the morning at a consistent time every day.
And I'm kind of preaching to the choir right now because this is what I'm going through. But it's just because, it's just for the cause. We gotta go to meet. But after this, I'm gonna do better.
But no matter how early you're getting up in the morning, right? If you're going to bed at all types of weird times of the night, or it's just too late at night based off of what time you're having to get up in the morning, you're gonna have the same problem, you guys. You're still gonna feel sluggish. You're not gonna feel as great about being up early, bright and early in the morning. You're gonna be like, I need to be back in my bed right now. Forget them birds chirping.
I'm ready to take a nap.
You're just, again, not gonna be as motivated. That's just something that I've learned. My rest is important. Just being on your feet every day, all throughout the day, taking care of so many things. Like by the end of the night, after you have gotten done all of the things you need to with the children, all of the things for yourself, you deserve your rest. You deserve your you time, and you deserve time for doing things that you simply enjoy just because you enjoy doing it. But you definitely need to think about your rest time being just as valuable as all of your other priorities. Now, I understand that it's gonna be times here and there where it's not gonna be the ideal situation. I just told you about mine. I have a goal and I'm focused. So am I going with less sleep these days? Yes, I am. For a very small window of time, things I'm sacrificing for a pretty big goal of mine. So I'm just saying, you guys, you can use your logic when you need to, but in general, definitely want to include rest in there. Also, you keeping a set bedtime and a consistent bedtime for the children and yourself allows time for yourself that may not be available during the daytime when the children are up, such as uninterrupted work, or again, you time, whatever it might be, that buffer. Next tip is related to the younger children that aren't school age yet. So I have a 3-year-old, she just turned 3. Technically, she is able to start pre-K. And that's exactly what I'm starting to do now, is teach her those skills. Utilize your learning time for the older children to also involve the younger children. So for instance, my children, any given day, they may have a project, have certain field trips, or they might just have an assignment to get outside and do this particular thing. I use that opportunity to involve my littlest one and get her getting her hands dirty and get her building things and learning things and counting things and coloring, you know, and participating in the experiments. With the younger ones being so busy, you really want to keep them occupied as well. In the same way that my older children come down and they have a certain area, knock out their lessons where they have their chair and their computer and everything, I'll set my younger one up in an area. Sometimes it may be the kitchen, sometimes it may be in my room, or it just depends on what I'm running around doing at the time. But I'll set her up in order for her to know that, hey, it's learning time for you as well. So everyone will have their own little station. Children will be focused, and my littlest one will have a few things that I have already laid out to work on. So that can be coloring. After she's done coloring the paper, we may do some counting, then go over our ABCs and shapes. Like I said, I'll involve her so that she can see other projects or experiments that other children are doing. And of course, we get a lot of outside time into, because it's still important to get your exercise. One thing not to forget for the younger children is nap time. Y'all, talk about the golden hour.
I get so much done during that time.
Now, it depends on your child's schedule for school, but I know that my older children are normally done their lessons around 1 or 2 o'clock roughly every day. So I use that opportunity to nap my youngest daughter for at least an hour.
On a good day too.
This allows me a period of time during the day to get work done. So again, you guys, this was a quick little something to give just a few tips. I know I didn't go too much in depth with several areas that I could possibly cover. I'm definitely gonna think about putting together a series for that purpose, but I just wanted to get some thoughts out there. If you guys can find some use from that tidbit. If you have any particular questions, just let me know in the comments. Like I said, I do plan on doing a few follow-up videos, going a little bit more into depth in different areas of schooling at home or homeschooling, because we did do that a good amount of times. So I can answer any questions that would be helpful. Other than that, you guys, that's all I got. Thank you again for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.
That's all I got for now. See you in the next one. Bye. Teacher, look.
Let's see here. Children, listen up. My name is Kweeni Indi, and this is Kweeni Indi to you, and I will be your substitute teacher. First rule of the day, shut the fuck up and don't speak unless spoken to. So today we are going to talk about Kweeniindilife. Okay. Pay attention, children. What's this say? Excuse me, no talking. No talking in the classroom. You know, on my day, we could hit the children. And I still believe in that philosophy. Quiet the noise. I said quiet. I wouldn't push it if I were you. I did say, don't fuck with me. Or I will have your ass bent over backwards in the middle of this classroom, crying for mercy and begging for your mumsies. Again, don't fuck with me. I don't do detention. I merely take matters in my own hands. It's called an open hand in baby oil. It works wonders. What you about to do? Hold on, wait.